An update now to a story we reported on a few weeks ago. Fast food chains being forced to post food calorie counts. After months of resistance, New York City's chain restaurants have begun obeying the first of its kind rule in the country. If they don't, they could be made to pay thousands of dollars in fines. Those new rules, part of an anti-obesity campaign. And for you Big Mac lovers who had a side of fries and a Coke for lunch every day, well, that means you scarf down more than 1,100 calories at lunch alone. So how does that compare to the calories your body actually needs? Let's ask Dawn Jackson-Blattner. She is a registered dietitian. Dawn, what do you think about this idea? And we're going to get to some of these calorie counts in a minute. But the idea of putting the calories right up there on the menu alongside the Big Mac and whatever else.
It's fantastic. You know, information is power, so a consumer going into these restaurants now has the power to make very educated decisions.
All right, so a guy, your average man in this country is supposed to have, what, 2,200 to 3,000 calories a day?
Yeah, adults generally, it's about 2,000 calories. Now that depends whether, you're a man or a woman, how old you are, how active you are, because if you're doing lots of running, you get more calories. But yeah, generally like 2,000 calories for a man or a woman.
So 1,130 calories in a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke from McDonald's. That's more than half of what you're supposed to have all day long.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And if you put it in perspective, you still have lunch and dinner and many snacks coming by. So that's why people are eating thousands of calories extra. So, this information of calories right smack there when you're ordering is going to be very helpful to put that meal in the context of your life.
And another one from Sbarro's, the pizzeria, their fettuccine Alfredo, 3,073 calories.
I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
You're
So, that's just one meal. Yeah, that's just one meal. That's, over the 2,000 calories that you're supposed to have in a day. So, this is really going to be eye-opening.
My wife is given to the Starbucks vanilla bean frappuccino once in a while. That's a mere 600 calories, and I'm sure that's the size that they call tall, even though that means small, right?
Well, I think one of the things is it's going to allow people to make the decision for themselves. Can you afford to buy, that 600-calorie drink, or do you really need to downsize it, hold the whipped cream, change your whole order? It's going to give people that power to make some very informed decisions. It's very exciting.
There has been a lot of concern in this country lately about childhood obesity, and I guess given the fact that, kids often drive their parents, that is, sort of engineer their parents to take them to Mickey D's or one of these fast food places, I guess it's no surprise that the menus aren't exactly filled with low-calorie foods.
Well, absolutely. We struggle here. 2 out of 3 people, children, adults, no matter where you're from, we have an obesity epidemic. And, this is one great step, to help solving it. As people control their calories, they're going to lose weight. And that helps with diabetes, heart disease, cholesterol levels, blood pressure. Very exciting stuff.
But listen, when I get stranded in the Chicago airport, there's nothing that makes me happier than going to Cinnabon and getting one of those 850-calorie Cinnabuns. Is that okay once in a while, please?
I definitely think it's okay once in a while, but you might consider making some friends and splitting it.
All right. Dawn Jackson-Blattner. Luckily, I have a lot of kids. I can give them each a bite. Dawn, thank you.
See? Good, good.